Dire team ban.
Bat Rider!
Dire team pick.
Oh my god. Well, I have to redo that. I apparently had my microphone muted. So, good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for game number 3 of the Amateur Weekend Cup Grand Finals, TSG versus Zykon Esports. With both of them took a convincing game 1 and game 2 win respectively. And now, I am joined, as always, by Zelda. How are you this fine evening?
I'm good. I was wondering what was going on because I'm just sitting here going, it's taking him a while to start.
I was like, I went through it, and then I'm like, I looked over, and then there was no microphone. I was like, oh, really? Thanks, game. And at the right time of the night as well. So let's get into a little bit of the picks. We see a Bat Rider actually making it through the bans for one stage. I think this is like the first time in the tournament we've seen a Bat Rider sneak his way through, and it goes to the side of TSG. They also have a Rubik. Over the side of Zykon Esports, you have your Visage, and this game will be picking up the Outworld Devourer.
Yeah, we saw that OD creating a lot of plays there for TSG in the last game, and they pick up a Bat Rider, which, as you're saying, I don't think I've seen it in the tournament so far, but it's such a big play and such a big hero. You know, a fix we've seen play mid-heroes very, very exceptionally so far. Elder Titan, which is so unusual to see picked up, he played it so well up against the Dragon Knight. So him on the Bat Rider, I'm worried here for Zykon. If he plays the Bat Rider as well as he's been playing the other heroes in mid, it's certainly going to be a lot of trouble.
And not to mention that if they don't want to, they can throw that Bat Rider into the jungle, and jungle Bat Rider is almost as efficient as every other hero. You can get a fairly early get a very early blink dagger at the 9 to 11 minute mark, and if you have that very early blink, you can create plays all over the map. Some people, I know myself, like to grab a Force Staff because it increases your mana pool, it gets you into the action faster, or if you firefly over the tree, you can grab a hero and then force stuff away. That's my personal preference, but you can get a very fast mobility item early on, and then you can just create plays all over the place, grab kills, and start working your way through the opposition lineup. And now we see a Weaver and a Shadow Fiend being picked up by TSG. This is quite intriguing.
It looks like they want to roll the Shadow Fiend mid maybe and put the Bat Rider in the off lane, which is very viable as well. Maybe Sensui is the very skilled Bat Rider player. You can also put him in the jungle, of course, and it just ensures that he does get the farm. You know, offlane Bat Rider, he's fine if he's going one-on-one against another hero, but oh, Storm Spirit, now this is interesting. How are they going to lane this?
I don't know.
No idea.
This game is going balls to the walls here. It's like conventional for the tournament with one random pick here and then. Then we have this. I mean, Vengeful Spirit, OD, and Storm Spirit. That's not usual for a team. And then a Shadow Fiend, Weaver, and a Bat Rider. It's like, what's going on? I can't see the Weaver not being in that offlane. So I kind of feel as if TSG, if they pick up a carry to go a part of their tri-lane, or actually their dual lane up top, it's going to be a little bit iffy. But then again, we have seen teams that run Shadow Fiend a part of that safe tri-lane, because you can start stacking for him, he can get a lot of souls and a lot of farm because of his raises. So you might even see a Shadow Fiend part of the tri-lane, Weaver off lane, and a Bat Rider mid lane. But a Bat Rider shouldn't do too bad up against an Outworld Devourer. You do have those napalm stacks, they're pretty, what's it called, expendable. And actually we see a Nyx Assassin and Venomancer. Wow.
I don't understand what's going on here. Nyx Assassin, I can understand. Nyx Assassin's an excellent pick. His Mana Burn does so much damage to the entire lineup here from Zykon. OD, who has crazy amounts of intelligence. That Mana Burn is certainly going to hurt. Same with Storm Spirit, Visage as well to some extent. The other two not so much, but the other two are relatively fragile as well. So Nyx Assassin with his Vendetta and Pale combo can cause a lot of issues if he can get that Vendetta up very quickly. I am so confused. No idea what's going to happen in this game, but we're going to introduce the teams, and for the side of Zykon, we do have the Captain Dragon. It's going to be a carry Vengeful Spirit. Dragon's playing it.
Oh wow.
This is interesting. But the rest of them, we got Eric Kid on Venomancer, Eduardo, the offlane. Eduardo is on the Storm Spirit, Blood Drunk is on the Outward Devourer, and Mr. Polo Jr. playing his standard Visage.
What has gone wrong with this world? Over from the side of TSG, we have Affix. He will be playing that Shadow Fiend, so he should be rotating in mid. Nick's Assassin being played by Baskip. Miley Zero will be on that Weaver. You have Sensui on that Batrider, and Rubik, where are you? LMK guy coming up the rear, and they're going to meet in front of this jungle. Batrider will spot him out, and he'll just walk on out of this. It's not going to be too much damage done here, unless they keep being aggressive. I mean, Batrider's got the daytime vision, so he can easily see it. They're going to throw down an aggressive ward. Actually, no, they're going for that Weaver. They're not going to be able to find it. That's a very, very early sentry placement down, and that's 100 gold already down the drain.
Yeah, Sentry's not really going to do anything for them because they're going to have to split back into their own lanes and it's just going to sit there until it expires. It means that they might not be able to counter ward as much or might not be able to make a play on this Weaver later on. So yeah, very unfortunate for them to not be able to capitalize on anything from there. And it looks like both teams will now start to move into their own respective lanes. TSG a little bit quicker than Zykon in that regard, since we're already in the bottom lane with that Batrider of his.
So we got a sentry ward being placed down and got pinged out by Baskip. He knows something's up. So here comes counter the sentry ward. That's a nice sort of spot being picked up by TSG there. And now we've got aggressive tri lane by Zykon. This could either be ace they held up their sleeve this entire tournament, or this just could be some very, very weird strategy they decided to implement against TSG purely because their main strategy did not work. So this could be a very, very interesting game, especially as a carry Vengeful Spirit. I mean, I haven't seen a carry Vengeful Spirit since I don't even know when I saw a last carry Vengeful Spirit.
This is just complete insanity. What is really harsh here is though that they can't do anything to the Weaver for now because they don't have any sentries. They popped 2 sentries in locations that it did nothing, and this is going to get counted as well. So that's a lot of gold and a lot of vision that they've just given up for essentially nothing. I mean, they stacked one. Sorry, they cancelled out the stack twice actually now, but. Still, it's a lot of gold waste and a lot of vision that they potentially could have had, and I don't feel like they're going to be able to make too much plays on this Weaver since they don't have any more sentries, at least for now. This is really weird from Zykon. This
is very weird. I feel as if it feels like a lineup that they're very under pressure with, and they just wanted to throw out some heroes that they think they can play. I mean, Vengeful Spirit has a lot better heroes that's got a stun that can do her job. I mean, she does get that passive damage aura for your side, but that's just I don't agree with it for starters. I mean, Dragon, he could prove me wrong here, and same with the Irikid and Mr. Polo Jr., but they've got 2 of the best heroes. I mean, you have Irikid, who's got the best slow in the game at level 1 with that Gale. It's 15 seconds of 50% slow. You cannot do better than that. Then you have Mr. Polo Jr., he's got a Grave Chill and a Soul Assumption slow of himself, and his Soul Assumption will just keep going up because that ticking damage from Venomancer. They have a very aggressive tri-lane, but they're not being very aggressive. I mean, they tried to find a kill in the jungle, they popped their sentry wards, and now they can't do anything for the next basically 2 minutes until these supports can get some money from more sentry wards. And in the meantime, Miley Zero is just going to farm it up, keep leveling that Sakuchi up. He's got a shorter cooldown and a lot more damage he'll be able to throw down. And TSG, they've already smoked up. 2.5 minutes, they're coming towards mid. Blood Drunk, if he's not careful, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. There's the lift. Actually, no, the Impale will come out, but then the lift will follow shortly after. Affix, he's going to throw out 1 raise, 2 raise, final raise. He doesn't have enough mana, but it's not required. LMK guy will find the first blood on Blood Drunk in mid lane on the Outworld Devourer. And now with Ghost, actually Dust has popped on Miley Zero up top. He's trying to run away. Nice magic missile. Do we see a Gale? Gale will slowly finally be popped. 1 more auto attack, and that is a kill onto the Weaver. So they saw that 2 supports rotated away, so they find their own kill on the safe lane Weaver.
Yep, that's a big play as well, getting a kill on the Weaver. You know, Weaver's a hero that... This is gonna hurt.
Oh, at down on bottom lane, we might have an initiation onto Eduardo. He's got 3 stacks of napalm. Baskip 3 out of stun. Nice Revenant and Vortex. He will find a kill before he falls down. Baskip, will he die? There's not another tower attack, so he will survive. So Storm Spirit doing great under the tower, under pressure to be able to pick up a kill before he falls down. So at least he'll grab the XP, Batrider will not. So that's a very nice trade for that Storm Spirit.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, that's a very important play. It's one that, you know, if Storm Spirit died, even if the other two died afterwards, just due to the tower, but if the Storm Spirit died first, it would not have been. It would have certainly gone to more towards TSG's favor, as you know, the Storm Spirit would have lacked that experience. It would have still gotten some.
We
of
have
the
a
gold,
rotation
but
up
that's
top.
not
We're going
really
towards
what
LMK guy. He gets hit by the magic missile and the gale. There we go. Soul Assumption should finish him off if he tries to get away. Not required. Then they throw out the dust, and they're going to pick off Miley Zero. They find double kill up the top lane without too much effort. This tri-lane is scary. But in the meanwhile, Eduardo, he's down bottom. Bazkip is waiting behind him. Stacks of stuns go up. There is no lasso currently. Nice stun with 2 stacks of napalm. 3 stacks. This is very, very big trouble for Eduardo. Can he do enough? No, he don't. Nice carapace being thrown out by Bazkip. Turning around that static remnant back onto Eduardo.
both sides being incredibly aggressive. You know, they're TSG here, they're trying to give as much farm to the Batrider by just doing these ganks as possible, which is a smart idea. It means that he gets his blink up as quickly as possible, and that helps him so much. It's so useful once you have that blink, because you can engage just from anywhere, lasso up, and catch any hero off guard. A fix in the mid lane, he's doing well against this OD, sitting for 16 for 12, OD on 14 for 10, and you know, that's great for him. They also managed to pick up the kills, so I feel like that even if we look at the gold graph, it's up and down. It's only 500 gold in Zykon's favor, but that isn't very much.
And Bazkip, he's rotating in behind there, looking for a kill. He's just outside. He's going to rotate through the tower. No, he's not. Yes, he is. He's going to take a few auto attacks on the tower. He gets the impale. Raise 1, raise 2 will miss, but they have more than enough damage for the auto attack from Bazkip. And the tower, once again, almost finishing him off. But at the same time, up at top lane, we have Visage and the tri-lane of death finding a kill on the Rubik out of position. Well, I shouldn't say he was out of position. He was in his own territory, pretty free and happy. If there was a magic missile up on that dragon, then that probably would have been a dead weaver at the same time. He's almost level 5, not quite level 6. He needs to get to that level 6 as quick as possible, or they're just going to keep farming him up for kills, while the side of TSG are farming Blood Drunk up for kills.
Yeah, it's very dangerous here for this tri-lane of TSG. Now, I thought they would have been a lot much safer, but with that Nyx Assassin roaming into the other lanes, it's been much more deadly for them. And even this tier 1 tower, it's very low, and for it to be this low at 6.5 minutes, that's not too good for TSG. They really cannot lose this. Well, they actually have, but it's tough here, because now Miley Zero is.
Oh, and mid lane we got an initiation. LMK guy will fall and at the same time we will see OD die. Now Mr. Polo Jr. he's alone. Affix is just manning up. He doesn't have enough damage to pick off Mr. Polo Jr. He did have the double damage. He's being chased down by those creeps. Will we see a rotation from Storm Spirit come down bottom lane? No, he won't. He's just sitting down farming up a little bit more. And Bazkip, once again, he's just going to sit behind him and wait for his next opportunity to attack. He's been very aggressive in this Nyx Assassin, and he's almost got it level 6 because of it. Most of the time, these supports won't even hit level 6 until about the 13-14 minute mark. This Nyx Assassin, because of he's got 3 kills, 3 assists, but just roaming around the map, he's almost got Vendetta up, and that's just going to make him that much more potent. And that's one scary Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, well, my initiation here in the fix.
And then we got the Astral Imprisonment out. Do they have the Gale? They do not have the Gale on Magic Missile. We got a very aggressive TP coming in by the Batrider. Do they wish to initiate? No, they do not. I feel as if they had the Magic Missile, then they could have found a kill on that very aggressive Sensui. Not going to be the case. And you have the smoked up supports coming from behind. They've got the rotation. They're going to find Mr. Polo Jr. out of nowhere. Impale comes flying through. They will throw it Fate, but nice Gale lands onto 2 heroes. They're taking a lot of damage. Raise 1, raise 2. With Batrider's going in for a lasso. He finds Dragon, the carry. He's going to do a lot of damage. He's got 1 stack. He's not going to fall. Remnant coming in. He's zipping around. He will find a kill on Affix from that OT. Nice Astral Imprisonment. That's 1-for-1 trade so far. Both carries are down for either side. Sensui will firefly down that cliff. And now Vendetta Bazkip. He's looking for Mr. Polo Jr. He's not going to find him, however. But he's got to be very careful, as his Vendetta will run out very short, and he's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but he really has to start walking out of there before he gets spotted out, because I mean, he only no mana, no health. He has to get out somehow. He also doesn't have any teleports. Decides to just buy a whole bunch of items, finishes off his magic wand. And he's like, just in case. And he does start making his way out. He might actually run into Arrow Kid though. Oh, goes in the right direction.
Oh, that is skill. He knew about it. His sixth sense kept him alive.
Yeah.
And then that ward's just gonna show poor Era Kid what happened, and then he'll get stunned for his insolence of viewing where Basket was. And you can just feel his emotions right now. He was just disappointed that Nyx Assassin just walked past like nothing ever happened.
Definitely. Although Zykon, I still feel like the kills have evened up, but still feel Zykon's in the slight lead just because they picked off that top tier 1 very early, and of course their carry Vengeful Spirit, which is a very confusing choice. Still has been doing much more better than this Weaver. In the late game, I feel like Zykon, they've got sort of the early to mid advantage, but as the game goes on, Affix and that Weaver are going to do so much damage, particularly when you have Sensui on that Bat Rider who can create amazing plays with the lasso, or who can hopefully create amazing plays with the lasso.
And speaking of that Barrow, we've got a zip in. We've got he doesn't have enough mana. There we go. We got the spin back with the magic missile. Gale pop. TP support coming in from the Rubik. And on that Weaver, Affix is already here trying to find anything. Can they turn this back around? Can he get in range for that lift? Irakid, he doesn't have a speed. He's a little bit slower than that Rubik. Rubik's making his way. He's not going to be able to get there in time. Affix will just decide to farm up a little bit of creeps, get some gold, and we might see initiation down on this bottom room. Bloodjunk will pick up a regen for absolutely no reason, and now Baskip, he's not going to be able to see Bloodjunk in the nighttime vision, so he's going to be able to sneak on out of there. And in the meantime, Miley Zero, he's reached his level 7, he's about to hit level 8, so he's got his time ups up, and now he's going to be one very hard hero to kill.
Yeah, he's also been just wisely farming up here in his top lane. You know, Zykon have sort of just left it empty for a while now, and it's a good play. You know, he didn't have the greatest of early starts, and he's got 30 last hits now, and he's starting to work towards some items. He still needs a lot more, obviously, to become really relevant, but as you were saying, he does have that level 7, he's much more survivable now with that ulti of his.
And now we will be seeing a group up down bottom, trying to get this bottom tier 1 tower, but at the same time, they're going to lose their tier 1 mid if they don't get this fast enough and try and do any TP support, but TPs are lacking. I mean, Bloodjunk doesn't have a TP, nor does Dragon. Eduardo does, Mr. Polo Jr. does, but there's still two of their big hitting heroes do not have it. So they're going to trade these tier 1 towers for each other, and now TSG, they decided to back off because they are about to lose or get a lot of damage done to their tier 2. They just decided to rotate up top. I don't think this is a smart idea. I do not think this is a smart idea at all.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I feel like that maybe they could have just tried to defend this. They have the Shadow Fiend with his ultimate. You know, Nyx Assassin with Vendetta. Well, it was on cooldown, but he's got it off now. So I don't know. This is dangerous. They really need to defend.
And they're still going. We have Dragon. He throws in that magic missile. Will land on LMK guy. There's no Shadow Fiend TP. He doesn't even have room for it. But luckily, Zykon are just going to back anyway, so they're not going to worry about too much. TSG, they will grab the top tower and mid tower, but they did lose a tier 2 tower of their own, and that at this stage is a lot more important.
Yeah, I do agree. Actually, what you mentioned there about the Shadow Fiend not carrying a teleport, I didn't even realize that, but that's actually quite a big misplay, because if he could teleport there with the rest of his team to that tier 2, which is probably why they didn't defend that tier 2, you know, the Shadow Fiend was like, I can't actually do that, because I won't make it in time, but yeah, it was a bit of a misplay. They lost that tier 2. I feel like they probably could have defended that if they were all there.
I think a few heroes didn't have one. I don't believe Nyx Assassin had one, because I saw him sneakily duck into the secret shop and acting all wise like he had one the entire time. So I think a few of their heroes did not have a TP on them, so that's why the tier 2 tower did decide to go down. That's why they rotated top to try and grab a tower and TPs on their way up there. But they're lucky they didn't lose more than what they did. I mean, they did a little bit of chip damage to the tier 3 tower, but it could have been a lot worse.
That's true, and it looks like that Zykon to continue on the just demolishing streak and go for mid tier 1 as well. This should get defended though, and I feel like Zykon will probably just back off here. It's a little bit risky at the moment. the mid player Bloodrunk, he does have the double damage, which just actually expired, but still can do a lot of damage with that Insanity Eclipse. And there is a ward. No, there isn't a sentry actually placed. That's a little bit surprising considering there's a Nyx assassin with Vendetta. Actually, no, there is. There's one in the river.
Yeah. And poor Batrider, Sensui, he's been trying to get his Blink Dagger up the last few minutes. I mean, he's fallen behind that very key point in that Blink Dagger. Doesn't mean whenever he gets it, it won't be beneficial. But he's trying so hard. If he dies in this fight without getting anything, he's going to be unhappy. And there we go, zip in on Affix. Affix gets pulled back. Sanity Eclipse doing a lot of damage. Affix still isn't dead. There we go, Lasso pulling back. He might find Irrikid. Irrikid pops his magic when he's still alive. Sensui will finally find the kill. They pick off LMK guy in the background. Then we see Sensui on that Batrider die to the Outworld Devourer. Bloodjunk now put Baskip up in. Baskip pops that Carapace, but he's still running through, and now he's trying to chase down Dragon. Dragon throws out that magic missile. He's taking a lot from the Urn Charge, but he will keep alive from that magic wand. Magic wands all over the place, keeping the entire side of Zykon topped up, and they come out ahead. 4 kills without losing. Actually, I think they lost 1. Yeah, they lost Irrikid.
Yeah, so, and they also took that tier 1 tower, and Zykon, you know, now they've increased that lead. Look, it was so even up until that point, up until that last engagement. You know, it was only a 500-ish gold difference in terms of experience. It's actually still in TSG's favor, but not by much. This is such a close game in that regard. I feel like Zykon, though, they have at the very least a slight advantage at the moment, just because they've picked off a few more towers and they have that more map presence. But you know, with the Nyx assassin on the field and the Weaver as well, it's not always going to, you know, be that safe. Nyx assassin, if he can find any heroes by themselves, he could potentially pick them off. Particularly since he's going for this more jumpy style. You know, he's got the Urn, which it's not crazy damage, but it helps when you're jumping on heroes. And
Batrider, he picks up his key Blink Dagger, which he desperately needs. He's on his way back to the fan to pick that up now, and that will help the initiation of TSG a lot more. Be able to grab lesser a key hero such as the OD, maybe even at this stage of the game, the Venomancer. He's doing a lot of damage. That Gale, that last fight, hit on every single hero in the game, and they all ticked down so hard, and Bloodrunk just picked them off one by one when they were on low health. So now they've smoked up, they're rotating through the jungle, they're going to be finding blood, they will find Baskip out. Will he pop his Vendetta and get lucky and reveal everything? We will soon find out. Daytime vision, he's been spotted. Dragon's on the hunt. Pings are coming out. They're going to wait for him to go downhill. LMK guy, he's going to miss it. They're going to see him. Daytime vision spotted at this gang. They're going everywhere. We got the spin back. It's popped on these magic one. Then we got Zip coming in. They will find LMK guy. Nothing they can do about it. One rage coming through. Then they're going to turn around. Affix, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. We got the lasso coming out. Eduardo. Eduardo's getting pulled back to the tower. Eduardo, he's slipping out. He's not dead yet. Seraphine will fall shortly after. There, Eduardo goes down. They turn into Bloodjunk. Miley Zero's trying to find that kill. Ishikuchi's through. We hear magic missile going to LMK guy, but that he will still pick off that Vengeful Spirit. And now LMK guy, he's still just alive. He gets put into the astral imprisonment by himself, I believe, and then we'll keep him alive a little bit longer. He picks up Mr. Polar Jr. He throws out the Soul Assumption. LMK guy will now fall, and then Mr. Polar Jr. will get picked off by that Sensui. And Irrikid, he's in the middle of nowhere. He will get picked off. TP coming out, and he gets out of there. The fantastic Familiar keeping Miley Zero off of that TP and OD, and he got on out of there before dying. Fantastic microing coming out by Mr. Polar Jr.
Yeah, but that still certainly went in TSG's favour. You know, they kept their carry, the Weaver, alive. It's unfortunate that their Shadow Fiend died in there, but Sensui also survived, so did LMK guy. Actually survived for so long in there. Some great lift plays and some great ability to last as long as it did. It certainly helped his team out as much as he could. But yeah, you know, they lost. The only person that survived was the Outworld Devourer, and yeah, it's nice that he survived, but you lost so many of your other key heroes, particularly when you're rolling a carry Vengeful Spirit. You don't want her dying that, I wouldn't say early on, but it fell pretty quickly there in that fight. It's certainly went in TSG's favour, and they're certainly going to. We actually see that just by the gold, it's starting to even up much more, and TSG have furthered their experience lead, and that's a big deal. This is such a close game so far.
This is very close. I mean, such unusual picks, and we're getting such a fantastic game. I can't be more happier for a final game of the grand final. I mean, this is outstanding. And now we're going to be seeing a fight come very shortly down in this mid tier 2 tower, but Shadow Fiend, he's up at top lane. He does have a TP this time, so he can come in. But I think he's just going to let this tier 2 tower go. He's not even going to try and trade his own tier 2. We got to zip in. They're going to find Miley Zero. Sakuchi's on cooldown. They're going to find a kill. He is gone. That is a big hero kill. He does have buyback, however. Will they force it out? No, they're going to TP top. 3 hero TP top to make sure this tower does not go down. But that was a big kill.
Yeah, it was a bit of just mispositioning there from Miley Zero. If they knew that they were going, they actually popped 2 sentries for it too, cute. But if they knew that they were going to lose that tier 2 tower, he should have just backed off much more and played more safely instead of moving on through there. It's yeah, it was just a massive misplay there from Miley Zero. It's very unfortunate that he died. You know, they still lost that tier 2 tower and they didn't get anything for it either. They're going to. I feel like TSG. They're still very much in this game, but they're going to need to make some more bigger plays if they want to continue to remain relevant. Sorry, I spoke about before about how Zykon have that early to mid game advantage, and they still sort of have that at the moment. As this game continues, I still believe that TSG will end up pulling ahead just because they have the better carries, they have the better late game potential, but they still have to maintain to not get pushed too far. They don't want to lose all their tier 2 towers. They want to lose a tier 3 this early on in the game.
And now we will be seeing them move towards the tier 2 tower up at top lane. Once again, Affix is not anywhere to be seen. He's just pushing the bottom lane. And this gives opportunity for Zykon to find another free tier 2 tower. But they are deciding to back. I mean, once they see Affix down bottom, they might turn around. And there we go. They've turned around. They've smoked up. They're going to go underneath this ward that they saw that TSG popped up. So this is a very, very intelligent decision. They know that they've got a ward here. It gives TSG a very false sense of security. And they're going to go. Here we go. They're going to force it. No, they're not. They're just waiting for one hero to come out of position just a little bit. And they will capitalize on it. And Affix is walking around like nothing's happening. And there we go. Dragon, he's going to swap. He's going to find a kill onto LMK guy. Poor LMK guy. Always the innocent soul being picked off. Batrider's fire away himself out of the map. Baskip, he's been shown from that dust. He's got yelled, but he's going to be out of there. Luckily, Miley Zero also going to make his way out. And Batrider, where'd that Batrider disappear to? There he is. He also firefighted himself out. But that's a tier 2 tower. And once again, this is because Affix, he's trying to push other lanes. He's got his BKB up. I mean, I guess it's worth it because he needs that BKB up. But they've lost 3 towers for him pushing out on the lanes at the moment. And now, Zykon, they're just going to retreat. They got a tower, let's get out of here. No need to stay around. And poor Sensui, unfortunate blink, didn't get close enough. Didn't even try to flame break it, which I think is also another little bit of a misplay. And the TP will be successful.
Yeah, and this is what we were saying. Yeah, we were saying how Zykon should have the advantage early on, but if TSG want to stay in this fight and you know put up a good fight, I feel like they should not have lost all those tier 2 towers so much. I feel like Affix, yeah, you know, the BKB helps a lot, but I still feel like he should have been in a lot more of those engagements. It just does mean that now he can get his ulti off without any issues, but I don't know, has it really been worth it so far? 22 minutes in, you've lost all your tier 2 towers, you have to play more defensively. They've got good warding and vision, I have to say, but at the same time, Zykon, they're just going to dust up and start moving around, and your observer wards just don't spot that.
And Dragon, just being a little... trying to find out any wards on that cliff. You're throwing out that Aurora wave, just making sure. That's one of the beneficial things about her. I mean, I guess she's playing as a carry. I mean, it is on Dragon. He's working towards his Manta style. He's got a Yasha and he's got ultimate all up and running. But do you think this is efficient? Has this carry Vengeful Spirit worked out this game? I mean, she's 3 for 2 with 9 assists, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Like, the problem is she's so fragile, and she doesn't have any real like steroid abilities, which you generally see on carries. You know, like your Phantom Assassin has her ultimate, the coup de grace. You know, it's things like that. Weaver, for example, has the Germinate attack. Vengeful Spirit doesn't really provide that. It has the extra damage boost with the aura, but I mean, that you can have that as a support hero. You know, it's not really something to really excel at, and I don't know. I still think that it's probably not the best choice. I guess it does sort of work since I do have the OD who can help with the extra damage there, but now that Affix has the BKB, a lot of those right clicks are going to be negated, and I think Batrider is going for a BKB as well, so they're two big heroes that they won't be able to pop very quickly.
And we have that silence up on Storm Spirit. They're going to be walking underneath this ward. But TSG, map sense, and they have, well, that sixth sense knows that something is up on the side of Zykon. They've expected Zykon to be aggressive this entire game. They're always pushing out these lanes. Now that they're not touching a single lane, they're like, they've got to be smoked up. We'll sit in our base and we'll just wait for it to pop. So TSG, they're playing it safe and they're playing it intelligently.
Yeah, and they've also just counter with it as well. Very well played there by them. They've just taken as much control of this jungle side from TSG as much as they can. Yeah, they've. Is that? No, okay, it's a plague ward. For a second I thought it might have been one of the observer
Actually, we've
wards
got
in the
initiation.
Rush Outfit,
Sensu's got his
just-
Batrider up and running. He's got a lasso on Eduardo. Eduardo's going to get hit by the Vendetta. Impale hits on two heroes. But we've got a Sanity clipped. Where is it? We see a nice Poison Nova coming out. And then we see a lot of damage going all over the place. Affix standing there. BK beat up. Finds a double kill. Triple kill. Not quite triple kill. Double kill going to two of their carries. And now they've just taken the game out of the from Zykon, and the Flame Break lands on Eduardo. So that's a final kill. That's 5 kills for absolutely nothing. And now they're going to get a Roshan. They have a Weaver pushing in mid. This is big.
Yeah, this is really, really huge, and Alan K guy just being very cute with those plague wards to do a little bit of extra DPS. Sensui has to be careful not to get killed by Roshan. Getting really unlucky with those bashes, but now Weaver is pushing this mid tier 2 tower. He can still get contested from this. In fact, with the Fortify he will get pushed back, but that's a free Roshan for them, and that's huge. You know, we're saying how Affix this BKB was going to be big on him, and if we were worried if it was, well, at least I was worried if it was going to be, if it might have been too late, but based on that last engagement, it seems not. They absolutely destroyed with the help of that Shadow Fiend ulti.
And with that BKB and the Poison Nova and the Gale from Venomancer, it means nothing. Then you have Storm Spirit. He can't do anything. He gets a silence off onto it, then it'll just be BKB'd, and that's game. Storm Spirit's out of the fight. Visage and OD, they're also two big magic damage users, especially with that OD. If he can't hit you with that magic immunity, his Arcane Orb's going to be doing nothing. He's going to hit you for 128 damage, which is measly compared to what OD can usually do. And Vengeful, because it's Vengeful, I mean, she doesn't have the fastest auto attack. She doesn't have the strongest auto attacks either. You do have that aura, but that means nothing. If you can't get a stun off, and you don't have that freely available Aurora Wave to take down the armor reduction, you can't do anything yourself. Whereas other heroes such as, you know, the Gyrocopter, the Lifesteal, they can rip through you, burn you down, no matter if you're in that BKB form. But on the side of Zykon, they have no one to be able to burn through someone who's in a BKB. So that's what makes the BKB on that Shadow Fiend so damn powerful.
Yep, and as we were saying before, it's also Sensui he's going for a BKB, and a BKB on the Batrider is quite powerful, because what are you going to do then? Even Weaver going for a BKB, they're just going BKBs, and then what's Zykon going to do? Their lineup is so magic heavy, and even like Nick's Assassin doesn't even need a BKB, because guess what? He has Spike Carapace, so he can just return damage, do some stun. Even without the BKBs, now we have Rubik getting a few levels in that null field, and once that's level 4, that's even more magic reduction. It doesn't work on the pure damage from OD, but it works on the rest of the lineup, so it's going to be a lot of damage reduction. You know, do any of them have mecha? No, we don't see any mecha or pipes up, but I wouldn't be too surprised if any of these heroes from the side of TSG pick up either items.
And at least the good news is Zykon do have their mech up and waiting, and that's why they've been trying to push and finish this game so early, is because they just, once BKBs are up, they can't do anything. Their only choice is to make these BKBs just drain in time. I mean, at the moment, Shadow Fiend's got a 9-second BKB. That's not going down anytime soon until the next engagement. If that next engagement comes around, after what we saw previously, it's just going to do it again because there's nothing Zykon can do about it. Unless they can get very lucky with chain stuns, he's not going to die. That's just the way it's going to work, especially if this Batrider jumps in first. But Zykon, they're trying extremely hard at the moment to try and finish this game. Because if they don't finish this game within the next 10 minutes, as you've always said from the start, they've got the early side. If they can't win in this early game, they have lost the game in general. Unless TSG do something abysmal, they will have the advantage later on in this game. And it's already starting to show at the moment as the scores have evened up.
Yeah, this is looking very dangerous here for Zykon. I mean, if we just look at the gold and the experience graph, they've been so even continuously in TSG's favor, but gold, still 2.5k in Zykon's favor, but 29 minutes in, that is basically completely negligible. That is not an advantage in any sense. It's pretty much even in terms of gold. Experience is looking much more in TSG's favor, and it is a big deal. Their supports are doing decent in terms of levels. They have the Nyx Assassin who's on level 10, almost level 11, Batrider sitting on 14, FX on 15, and that Weaver on 14 as well. So compare that to the Vengeful Spirit, who's being played by Dragon. There is only level 11. That's quite low. It's almost as low as the supports from TSG. Venomancer is sitting on 9, Visage is on 10, the highest is OD at 13. So yeah, the experience is certainly in TSG's favour, and they've been using their abilities to their advantage. Looks like they might want to even get a gank going.
They're looking, they've got the firefight up. They know OD's around here. OD hasn't seen him yet. It's about to hit nighttime, and luckily OD's seen something. He 4-stuffs down the cliff. Vendetta Baskip, or Basekip. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. I'm sorry if you do end up watching this and everyone who is listening. But he is looking around with that Vendetta. And now the tides have turned. TSG are now on Zykon's field. And this is just going to kill Zykon. They can't defend this. Unless TSG get out of position, they cannot defend this. There's Aegis up for another minute and 5 seconds. Well, about a minute and 5 seconds, and Affix, he's going to be wanting to try and expend this Aegis, use it to its fullest potential, and he's got his entire team behind him, so this is looking very grim for Zykon.
And just speaking of Affix, he's also got finished off his Manta style, so it's good that he's now started moving on to more of his right click or just his damage in general. I'm glad he didn't go for a Shadow Blade. I feel like if he went for a Shadow Blade this late, it would not have been as useful. They already have an Invis on the Nyx Assassin and Weaver. Zykon is prepared for any sort of invisibility shenanigans. So I like that Affix has decided to go for that Manta as his second item, I guess, and then I believe he'll probably continue more into that right click. So maybe he'll pick up something like a Butterfly, or maybe he might pick up the Crystallis or the Daedalus or something like that, just for the crit chance and whatnot.
Baskip, he's trying to find something. He just hits by a Venomous Ward. It gets hit by a second time. He's just walking backwards and forwards, and he just pops the Vendetta on that poor, unfortunate Sentry Ward. But they're just hiding around in their jungle now. There's nothing Zykon can do about it. If they try to smoke up, TSG, they're all sitting together at the moment. They're not going to let this get away from them. Except Affix did, strangely enough, TP home. I think he TP'd home.
Yeah, unless he walked all the way back.
Yeah.
Actually, no. The scroll's actually not on cooldown, so I think he did walk all the way back.
I was wondering. I was like, I don't see a cooldown on the scroll. I'm like, I swear he or someone else TP'd home, but yeah, a little bit strange. But in the end, everyone's back at home, and unfortunately for Zykon, their smoke up through their jungle is not going to find anyone.
Yeah. What do you think that Zykon should do here? I mean, we know that currently Shadow Fiend, he's doing quite well. He's actually gone for the Helm of Dominator path, probably turn into a Satanic. But on the side of Zykon, now that the enemy have BKBs and whatnot, what do you think their plays should be for now? Should they try smoke up, wait for an engagement to go wrong on TSG's end and capitalize on it, or maybe just wait for TSG to go for Rush and then gank him, or what do you think their next plan of attack should be?
I really think heroes on the side of Zykon should be doing the same thing as TSG, getting these BKBs. Unfortunately, OD is going to be working towards his Scepter, or Scythe I should say, not Scepter, and that's not what your character needs. Sure, it'll give you some health, it'll give you int, but if you had a BKB, you can stand up against this Shadow Fiend, you can stand up against the other heroes with burst damage, and you dodge a lot of their CC that they have against you. So same with the Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit, he can't do too much. He's picking up an ultimate orb himself. I really think these heroes should be going for BKBs of their own to try and negate some of the burst damage coming out by TSG. I mean, the Napalm stacks and the Fireflies doing a lot in these fights as well. On top of the Requiem Souls, they've just got a lot of magic damage, and they burst these heroes down without too much hassle. Vengeful Spirit as well. She is picking up, she's going for a Desolator. Once again, I don't think it's the right move. Sure, she'll get some physical attack damage, and that's what they desperately need on the side of TSG. BKB gives you some of that, and it gives you the ability to not die within a few seconds, or a few raises coming out from Affix. But in terms of strategy from here on out, I think they just need to wait for Affix to get unfortunately unimpatient, because Affix, he likes to not stick with the group half the time. He's on the other side of the map. I mean, he was working to items he needed, but he has a tendency to walk away from his group and get out of position, and TSG seem to fall behind. It's just the movement speed of Shadow Fiend being 414. He just outwalks everyone else on their side. And if you can find a very quick and early pick-off on Shadow Fiend, then you can turn the fight, because the rest of the team will be demoralized and try and back off. But otherwise, I feel as if they just need to wait until one of the heroes are out of position. They can definitely capitalize. There can't be any maybes. There can't be, oh, we can think we can kill this hero. It has to be, we can kill this hero now and we can get away with it. If they have any doubts, they will die and get turned around on from TSG.
Yeah, we do see some pings actually going on to Russia, and they believe that that's where they are. And we see lovely drawings. We've got some artists here on both sides. Looks like they're going to go in pretty much opposite directions here from both sides. Zykon, they're going to actually push out mid first, which is a good idea. Just ensure those creeps are on their favorable side, and now it's
oh,
the
this
side
is
of
bad.
TSG
Dragon walks into it. Vendetta, Impale, raises, and he just instantly bursts down. Actually, he's still alive, but now he'll fall. He takes the Nyx Assassin with him. Eduardo, he jumps in, instantly lasso. Requiem of Souls hitting on Kid just a little bit. Buyback by the Nyx Assassin. He's back into the fight, but that's 3 kills for 1 and a buyback. That's definitely going in favor of TSG. And then if they want to, they can go grab Roshan, who just spawned as I look at him.
That was massive. The Dragon, unfortunately, just walking up the ramp there, didn't have vision, and he just basically got destroyed relatively quickly. The Manta helped him survive a little bit, but not long enough. Well played by TSG. They will pick up this Roshan, and after they pick up this Roshan, they will either go to try and siege up the mid lane, or go for more of those tier 2 tower kills.
And man, Roshan's getting a lot of bashes onto this poor Miley Zero. I mean, he got about 3 or 4 bashes in a row. That's a very unfortunate for Miley Zero, but he doesn't care. He'll heal it up very shortly. And now, once again, Shadow Fiend's got the Aegis. They're going to be moving towards down this tier 2 tower. I think Zykon, they're trying to force their aggression too much. As you saw then, Dragon, he was trying to find something. They expected TSG to be in the space. Even though TSG has the lead in this game, they expected TSG to be in the space, and that's why they got caught out on that high ground of TSG rotating around. And Zykon, they're at the moment, I don't feel as if they are playing. They are being played by TSG, I should say. They aren't thinking what TSG are doing. They're thinking what they should be doing, or how they want to play. They're not adapting their style. They're just trying to hammer their style down, and it's just not working at the moment. And TSG are just taking their aggression and turning it against them. So now they're moving towards the tier 3 tower, being slowly chipped down by all these illusions.
Yeah, I think that just Zykon just aren't aware that they're behind, at least not at the time when they went for that engagement. They weren't aware as that they were behind as they were, just because they had the extra tier 2 towers, so they probably thought, hey, you know what, we're ahead in terms of gold. They probably thought they were maybe a little slightly ahead in terms of experience, or at the very least even, which isn't the case. We see that the gold difference, yeah, it's even, but the experience is so far in TSG's favor. It's over 10k now, and even before that fight, it was still heavily in their favor. And they've done a lot of chip damage to this tier 3. I feel like they may have probably done a little bit more, considering they do have the Aegis, they do have those ultis up on every hero. I believe they have, they still have the lasso. Yeah, this is troublesome, and Weaver now has 3.8k. We'll start moving towards those more right-click items doesn't really have much in terms of right click at the moment. Is only pretty much sitting on a BKB and Drum of Endurance. But yeah, once Weaver gets those right click damage, what are you gonna do to it? In fact, picks up a Dozo. That's going to be so painful.
Yeah, what can you do about it? That is the real question, and at this stage, I'm not too sure. They're just gonna have to wait for TSG to do some throwing, because every time Zykon try to do something, they dig themselves into a deeper hole. They tried to go up in the middle last time. They walked up a cliff, and boom, the entire side of TSG was there, and they lost 3 heroes for only picking off a Nyx assassin. I mean, it's a Nyx assassin. It's not who you want. And we have a blink coming in by Sensui. Nice raises, and that should be an easy kill onto Dragon on that very squishy Vengeful Spirit, who is the carry of the game. I don't really want to have to say that, because Vengeful shouldn't be a carry, in my opinion, unless you're pub stomping. But this isn't a pub stomp. This is the grand finals of the Amateur Weekend Cup, game number 3. And now Affix and the rest of the team are moving up onto the high ground, moving towards the tier 3 tower, and the Vendetta even gets popped onto the tower. That's how aggressive they want this tower down. Familiars will get onto Miley 0. There goes the tier 3. Can Zykon turn this around? Can they do anything? Dragon's still down for another 20 seconds. Rax is taking a lot of damage. They don't have Glyph up and running. We see an Astral Imprisonment with the zip in, silence onto Miley 0. Miley 0, is he going to be able to put the BKB? He does. He rewinds it. There goes the Requiem of Souls, burning down all the heroes. There goes down 2 heroes, and Blood Drunk, he's going to have to run away, and that's Rax. TSG's grabbed Rex. They're going to rotate bottom. This could be his tier 3 tower and a second Rex. Blood Drunk, he wants to do something. He's got a mechanism. He's got a Cypher. He's got Sanity Eclipse. We have to swap back onto Sensu. He will fall. And then there goes the Sanity Eclipse. There goes 1. There goes 2. LMK guy, will he fall? He will fall shortly after. And now Weaver, he's in a lot of trouble. He turns around. He's going to try and auto attack. He doesn't. Affix is still man enough. He kills off Dragon. No, he doesn't. He gets that missed chance. He's not going to find it. But the Aegis is now popped against heroes that are almost all dead. Eduardo, he's hiding in behind. He's going to put himself in the Astral Imprisonment, and Eduardo's throwing down all the stacked remnants, hoping Affix turns around. He turns and attacks those Familiars, grabs 200 gold. We see the Revenant into the vortex. They might find him. They will find him. He misses twice uphill, but the third and final shot will kill him. So that's what they needed, but then at the same time, it's not what they needed. They lost the Rax, but they did find their entire team, bar the Weaver.
Yeah, they also lost a lot there. They were pretty much back to where they started in terms of... Actually, I think they ended up 1 ahead. I believe TSG had a free kill advantage when they picked off a Dragon in mid before they did the push. But yeah, they picked off the Rax in mid, which is huge, and also picked up a tier 3 tower in bottom. I mean, gold is now heavily in favor of TSG. Well, I say heavily, but it's 41 minutes and it's only about 70k, so it's... Like it's as far as it's ever been for any side so far, and yeah, experience is still crazy. There's, with Rax down, this is going to be constant pressure for Zykon. They really should not be pushing out this far. I mean, Mr. Paul Jr. has to be careful. I mean, yeah, we still have the Shadow Fiend hasn't respawned yet, but that Nyx Assassin is getting quite deadly at this point. I wonder what he's going towards next, because he does have 2k sitting on him. But yeah, now Weaver has that there, so is moving towards what looks to be a butterfly, as they've picked up the Eagle Song as the next item. So once they has that rolling, it's just going to be... I think it's going to just be too hard for Zykon to come back. I mean, already Rax down on a lineup that had the early to mid game advantage, and we knew was going to struggle in the late game. It's going to get harder and harder for Zykon here the longer this game goes on. And
speaking of a struggle, Affix, he picks up his Satanic. Will he be able to die in these fights is a question that's on everyone's minds. He's got 7 seconds of BKB. He's got a Satanic he can pop straight afterwards to heal himself back up from any damage that could have possibly come from Vengeful Spirit, as no one else can do any physical damage to him. And they're going in for their final push. This could be game. I don't even think they care about waiting for Roshan. They've got the lead. They can still capitalize on it, and they're not going to let Zykon get any of their next items. I mean, even big or small, they don't want Zykon to pick up any items that could contribute to the next team fight.
Actually, one thing I'd like to mention is Static Remnant on like when Rubik pops it. It looks so funny. The position, or I guess the Man, what am I trying to say? They just looks hilarious in the story. I want to say it again.
Well, we have a smoke up going through the jungle, and once again, they're going to walk in front of TSG. They're going to spot it out by the Revelation. They're going to turn around. They're going to be like, holy... Actually, wait, the Revelation doesn't spot smoke? Yes, it does. Turn around, get the Impale. Eduardo jumps on in. He's getting a hit. We see a nice steal of that Aurora Wave. We see Venomancer. He does fall. There's the Requiem Source. There's the massive killing potential of that Shadow Fiend. That's a team wipe, and that will be game. GG is called by Zykon. TSG will be taking game 3. They will be our winners of the Amateur Weekend Cup September, taking home the glory of the champion of the cup. And they played fantastic.
Yeah, that was just extremely well played by the TSG. They knew what their strong points were. They surprisingly they held out in the mid to early, the early to mid game for as long as possible. And once they had those big ABs, they really started turning fights around, and they just took it right underneath Zykon's nose, so to speak. Some great plays from both sides, I gotta say. You know, Zykon showed some amazing plays throughout today, even in this final game. TSG as well. Congratulations on them for their win. I'd just like to say thank you very much, everyone, for watching. As always, I've been Zellerf, and I'm joined by the one and the only Yoshi. You can follow us at twitch.tv/Zellerf or youtube.com/Yoshi. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.